Welcome to the Fight Night Daily podcast. A huge week in London again as the reignited press conference took place and the whole undercard. Yeah, we're talking about December the 21st. The undisputed, of course, even though there isn't one belt on the line this time, the IBF isn't there. It's Tyson Fury against Oleksandr Usyk, or Oleksandr Usyk against Tyson Fury. The second fight, Riyadh, December the 21st. We've had them all over London this week. I was at the press conference this week. You weren't there, were you?
No, unfortunately, talkSPORT 1 invited yesterday. We're here at the Crown Plaza in Westminster today for all of the undercard. But yeah, unfortunately, we wasn't invited there yesterday.
We are. We're here today. Tyson Fury revealed, by the way, yesterday, very tragic circumstances when he fought Oleksandr Usyk on May the 18th this year, when he lost on a split points decision, that his wife, Paris, had lost their 8th child while he was away, and she was unwell in the week of the fight, in fight week, and was unable to travel. They lost their 8th child. Terribly tragic, and he explained it in detail yesterday. He said it wasn't the cause of him losing the performance, and he didn't want people to think that when he went in there, he was one-tracked and one-minded, single-minded on winning the fight. But a terrible event for him to deal with, and for his wife to deal with, while her husband was away in a fight on the other side
Gareth,
of the world.
People don't realise what a fighter goes through in a build-up to a fight. Just, like when they go through that military training and cutting yourself away from the, from the world, if you like. And then to go through that as well is a complete. So whether he says that didn't play a part in it or whether he did play a part in it, trust me, that will have played a little part in it, because that is tragic. No one knew about that, obviously, until yesterday. So,
I was sitting as close as this to him. I actually asked him the question. It was a round table for the national news media. And I don't often recall in the 17 years that I've known Tyson Fury, that I could feel the emotion welling up in him. And he controlled it again. As he said at the end of it, listen, I can't talk about it anymore because I'm going to be in tears. Sometimes respect to both of them that they managed to get through it.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Listen, like I said to you, that is a complete going into a fight of that magnitude with that on your shoulders as well is difficult for anybody, any human being. And I mean, it's just sort of, for Tyson Fury now, I suppose he just wants to lock those emotions away in a box and get on with what he wants to do and try and right the wrongs of that last fight against Oleksandr Usyk. And here we are, the undercard. It's been a great event today at the media event, and we spoke to a lot of the fighters, and it's been good.
I'm going to rewind 24 hours because yesterday's press conference, Tyson Fury was a different character. He was quieter. Oleksandr Usyk arrived late because his flight was delayed, dressed as Agent 47 from Hitman with his red tie and his black suit, his black leather gloves. In fact, at one point he crept into the building. I felt his hand on. I thought, who's this leather glove? It was him. He very feel. He didn't really say very much. Said yes and no at the press conference. He got Tyson Fury to sign a photograph. He took it out of a briefcase, got Tyson Fury to sign for that 9th round left hook that hit Tyson Fury on the jaw. Tyson Fury was game. Business will be resumed 13th round on December the 21st. They didn't need to sell it very much because I think the fight sold. It was sold the first time. It was an enticing, brutal encounter. Can't wait for round 13. Entente cordiale right now. Conflict resumed on December the 21st.
Absolutely. Listen, the fight doesn't need selling because what's happened in that first fight between the two when he's calling him the rabbit and the little middleweight, etc., trying to play the mind games. One, he recognises Oleksandr Usyk. You can't get inside his head. He's not that character. That's for one. But what they gained from each other in that first fight, that gladiatorial fight where they both had to go to dark places, is you get that respect where you go, we know what we're going into now. The public have seen the first fight, so we don't need to sell the second fight. They want the second fight, and there's that mutual respect between the pair of them. So I liked what I saw there because I'm glad that Fury didn't come with a different approach because he's a very unpredictable character. You don't know how he's going to approach it, but the respect that I saw there that he was giving to Usyk was nice.
It's a pure boxing match now, isn't it? It's a pure battle. It's almost, even though there's a few belts on the line, the IBF isn't. It is the championship of each other right now, isn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's for ascendancy of this era in the heavyweight division.
That's exactly what it is. We're talking about, when you're talking about these modern eras and the best fighting, the best, etc., and they're all starting to do that now. That's thankful to Riyadh Season and Turkey Al Sheikh for making these fights happen. So us the fight fans are the winners here, and like this now determines where Fury's name sits in the history books in years to come, and Oleksandr Usyk as well.
And if Fury wins it back, surely, and we spoke to Frank Warren about this yesterday, it's going to be a trilogy because they're going to need a third to separate them.
It has to be.
I agree.
Of course it does.
One other point, Tyson Fury saying he's not making adjustments to his training team. Sugar Hill was there yesterday, it was Andy Lee, friend of the show. They are going to be there. Big John Fury wasn't there yesterday, but Shane and Huey, his brothers, were there. We don't know who's going to be in the training camp. I know for a fact that Tyson does listen to his father, and John is very knowledgeable. But what did you make of him saying he's not going to make adjustments?
I totally understood it. I mean, there's two voices there that Tyson Fury hears in that corner, and that's Sugar Hill and Andy Lee. They're the two voices that work with him from day to day in the training camps and everything else. Tyson Fury's that experienced. He's that guy that he doesn't need to change things up at this late stage of his career. Sugar Hill Stewart is a great trainer, and so is Andy Lee. They're both meticulous in what they do. So forget all the nonsense about changing camps and everything. When a fighter loses and all of a sudden, they've got to change the trainer, they've got to do this and that. They don't need to do that at all. I think that Tyson needs to make a few adjustments, and if he can do that, and that's down to whether that's still in him now. That's what we don't know. Like, he might know psychologically what he's got to do. He might know that, but whether he can physically do it remains to be seen, and I think that's the question mark.
You've done a lot of swearing. That today. Calm down. Look, we're going to talk about the undercard very quickly and then going to be joined by Dave Allen. Great undercard interviews. If you're watching this, the Fight Night Daily podcast, we've done about 7 or 8 interviews with all the undercard fighters today at this media event that are involved on December the 21st. The only one we haven't interviewed so far, Dempsey McKean was a great talker. Lee McGregor went deep.
You haven't stopped.
Isaac Lowe went deep.
Just waiting to go.
Yeah, all the guys went really deep. This Moses Tauma was brilliant. We are set up for a spectacular undercard. Johnny Fisher, the Romford ruffian bull with his mullet, was the most difficult character. And I'm only saying that because Dave Allen is about to step in with us and join us. Move over, Spence.
How are you, Dave?
So, you're our last interview of the day. We've virtually interviewed everyone on the card. How are you, first of all? Yeah, I know.
Yep.
I know. I'm sorry I forgot your surname the other day. I need to apologise in public.
Thank you very much. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Listen,
Better for seeing the white rhino.
Thank you. Yeah.
Dave, I asked Johnny Fisher, and I've got to ask you, mate, what's going on with the mullets? Like, you've both got the mullet. You've done it as well. Is this something that you have you had a bet or something, you two? What's going on?
A few months ago, I went to the hairdressers, and I'm thinning on top. So
I've got a good doctor for you, by the way.
Yeah. So I'm thinning on top. I went to the hairdressers, and I said, "So what can you do with this?" And she said, "Not sure, really. Don't look good."
Yeah.
Anyway, I said, "Look, do your best," and here we are.
You're definitely not thinning on the back, mate. That's for sure. That's going.
Well, that's the problem. Back and sides are growing just fine. It's the top.
Brilliant.
Well, welcome to the hair. We've had the History Channel today with Johnny Fisher. Now we've got the hair show for you with Dave Allen.
Dave, I want to ask you, mate, like, where you're at now going into this fight. You've had a great career, 32 years of age, been there, seen it, done it, boxed at every sort of level, wins over Lucas Brown, former world champions, etc. What ambition is left right now, mate? I've got to ask you.
Just to be the best I can be, really. I'm not boxing at the highest level. I've boxed at a much higher level than this. This is a winnable fight. That's how I see it. I could have probably boxed Tauma, could have boxed a few other names, but I didn't see them as winnable. Johnny Fisher fight, yeah, I can beat him. I fully expect to beat him. They give me 12 weeks notice. I think they mad me. 12 weeks notice. I said, you what? 12 weeks notice to watch Johnny Fisher? Sound, I'll beat him.
Are they underestimating you, and is he not as good as people are saying he is?
Johnny Fisher's not as good as they think he is now. No, you know what? Johnny Fisher knows what he is. Johnny Fisher's super intelligent. Johnny Fisher knows Eddie and whoever's around him, they think he's better than he is. I'm not saying that he won't be very good, but he isn't at the moment.
You've sparred each other in the past. He talks about you kicking his ass back then,
Yep.
but he learnt a lot from that. What did you take from it?
He was a tough kid. He was tough and strong, and I said at the time, I said, he'll do well, this kid. I beat him up, but I beat loads of people up. I beat up better boxers than me. It's sparring, as you know yourself. I beat up some champions as well, but I never managed to beat him on the night. So yeah, this fight, like a lot of people are saying, I'm short, I'm finished, I'm this and that. I never ever say I'm going to win fights because that's just not in my character. But
does that motivate you though?
I'll beat Johnny Fisher. I'd never say publicly that I'll beat anybody. That's not my demeanour. I never carry myself that way. I'll beat Johnny Fisher. Give me 12 weeks notice to box, who in my eyes is a bit of a novice. He says he's going to train hard, he's going to do this and that. He's not on my level. This is boxing ability. People can say what they want about me. Give me 12 weeks notice. There's not enough weight in the world I wouldn't give an hard night.
It sounds like the worst thing you could have done was give you 12 weeks, mate, because your mindset has been different to what I've seen in recent times in the
I said
past.
to you yesterday, you look very fresh. There's something fresh about you.
All my career,
Your hairdo.
Just been given a few weeks notice. Chucked in here, chucked in there. They give me 12 weeks to box a very good young talent. But yeah, I'm up for it. They give me the time to prepare, and I've got to be in my bonnet over people saying I'm this and that because.
What about the opportunity of
Can I
flying
just
out in
ask what-
Saudi as well?
Can I just ask can I follow on what you just said then? What to be in your bonnet? What are people saying about that you've heard?
This is a mismatch. So when I got offered the fight, I said, all right, cool. I said, where is it and when is it? Like, when is it is the important thing. The notice is the important thing. So they said 12 weeks time. So I said, right. I said, you know you're going to get him beat then, don't you? So that's all it is. All I need is the right opportunity. And I get up on the right side of the bed most days now. If I get up on the right side of the bed that morning, keep training like I am, I'll beat him. And people talking mismatch. It's a mismatch. He's beat Harry Armstrong and Alan Babbage. And saying he's going to beat me, I don't think so.
I mean, Dave, you know, you've travelled.
do you think,
You've
Spence?
travelled.
Give us your
Hold
opinion
on a
about
minute. I
that.
just want to ask him the question first. No, let me get to it. So I get. You know, you've travelled and you've boxed on the big stage and whatnot. Your last fight was at like Sheffield Ice Rink, and you look at that and you go, now you're going to Saudi Arabia, the new home of boxing, the new mecca of boxing, if you like. What does that mean for you though? Is that something that like did you think you was going to get there? Is probably the question.
Mentally, I'm bomb-proof.
No, but I mean, going from your last fight, when you go through your last fight, and you think you're ticking over a little 4-rounder or a 6-rounder or whatever, and you're just going in there and it's a run-of-the-wheel win that you get. Sorry, lost my words there.
Run-of-the-mill
win, yeah, that you get.
But now you're on UsykFury's
now you're on a
undercard.
huge card. I mean, did you expect that?
Yeah.
You did?
I could have stopped boxing years ago. Like, I don't need to box. I'm half intelligent. I've done all right out of boxing. I don't need to box. I can go and do other things. There's loads of things I could be doing. But I carried on going. I did these 4 rounds. You commentated on one of them. It was ridiculous. There's 200 people there, but it's a fellow who won 2 out of 30. But I knew this would come back. I knew it would come back around. I'm like one of life's great survivors. I'll just keep going, and you keep going in life and just keep churning away. You keep winning in this game. You get opportunities. I know I'm going to get opportunities. So maybe not in Riyadh, maybe not at this scale, but the Fisher fight was always happening. I knew that, and Johnny Fisher kept me in the sport really.
Let me ask you a question, Spencer Oliver. You're the former boxer. I'm very impressed with Dave Allen and his mindset. I can feel it right now. I can feel his energy. How do you see the fight going? Give me your honest opinion, and could it actually steal the show?
Well, absolutely, it could, and I'll tell you why. And I'm going to give you the honest opinion now. I thought that the boxing had left you. I thought that after, you know, when you go back to like, probably from the David Price defeat, I thought that was the time then when maybe the boxing had sort of left you. You'd lost heart in the sport, lost love with the sport, and you come back there. And I know you had the Fraser Clark defeat as well. You went 6 rounds there, and I just thought, has it been sort of knocked out of him? Has it left him? But there seems to be a newfound sense of urgency, like energy, given that. And like I think that Dave Allen at top level is a tough fight for any of the guys that are coming through. You have to accept that, but you've changed my mindset on where it was, because I was big on Johnny Fisher winning this fight before that, because I didn't think that you was in it, if you know what I mean. Does that make sense?
So how are you seeing the fight, Spencer?
Well, it's an interesting one. I think that right now Johnny Fisher will start the favourite, and you got to be an idiot to think not otherwise, because the momentum's with him. He's the kid that's meant to be doing it, and that's pretty much where we're at with it.
I'd like to explain a few things. When I boxed Lucas Brown, that was my 30th fight, amateur and pro. I started boxing, I was nearly 19, my first amateur fight. So I've been boxing 8 years, 30 fights. Like, I was a novice really, so I took a bit of a good hide and whatever else. Everyone said you're done. Just turned 27. Just turned 27. Had 30 fights, amateur and pro. You can win the novice championships with 20 fights as an amateur. And
You're 32 now, right?
And just 30.
A young 32, actually.
I'm 32, but the thing is like when I boxed David Price, he was finished, he was shot, and I was the young kid coming through. It's the same thing. Like Johnny Fisher's smarter than me. Like he's switched on, but he's a 25-year-old kid who's never boxed anybody. He's gonna get the shock of his life when he starts trying to hit me. He won't hit me. That's the thing. I boxed Dylan White, boxed Luis Ortiz, Tony Yoka, David Price, Lucas Brown. I sparred Tyson Fury, sparred Anthony Joshua 500 rounds. I've never been on the floor because he cannot hit me. Johnny Fisher will get the shock of his life.
Listen,
when he comes out and tries to start. When he starts to try and hit me, he will have the shock of his life. Wow. He doesn't realise I'm not. I don't look like a world beater. Try and something. Oh God, I cannot wait for him to start trying to take my head off.
Man's oozing confidence for sure. How do you see the fight?
I saw it as a Johnny Fisher win originally. I had the same feelings as you because Dave's been away. But the minute I walked into Dave yesterday at the press conference, I said to you, wow, you look fantastic, young and very fresh. I'm just changing my mind about the fight. Did I not say that to you? And then you said to me, you didn't remember my surname the other day. What are you on about?
That's true, yeah.
That's a liberty, by the way.
I wasn't offended, I was upset.
Yeah. Can I? No, but on a serious note, though, you both got the same haircuts here. What is that? Just coincidence, or have you been chatting?
Obviously, yeah.
Is it?
We're
No.
back to the
but
hairdresser show again.
I've seen actually because I saw you both on social media a lot. There's been a lot of talking between the pair of you, and I didn't know if it was some sort of side bet or some sort of mad thing going
actually,
on.
is there, in terms of when you're together?
He's my mate and that. I didn't text him and say, do you want like a of it? Do you know what I mean? It's just, it happened accidentally, so...
you've been doing, in the build-up to this, you've been doing a lot of social media. Like I've seen you on Instagram a couple of times together, right?
Yeah, he's a really nice kid. And boxing for me, like, this is not personal to me. This is business. I want to beat Johnny Fisher, and then box whoever after. This for me is like I just want to have a nice life. I want to enjoy it. When I was young, I got onto the big shows at 24. Didn't have a clue what I was doing. Young kid, no experience in life. Never left my hometown, and all of a sudden I'm in 5-star hotels. And I'm running absolutely wild. And
a bit of a cult hero with people as well, and I love that about you. People
He
warm
is.
to you, don't they?
Well, you know,
do you love that?
You might appreciate this. You know, when you enjoy life too much, you don't enjoy it. You don't take it in because you're too busy. You're having all these highs and that. You're enjoying the fuck out of it. And you ain't taking it in. I never took it in. I'm 24 years old in 5-star hotels, getting paid good money, and all of a sudden, I'm 32. Wow, where's it gone? I'm enjoying the life out of this. And I want it to continue for a bit longer because I'm at a point in my life now with kids and that where I can appreciate these things. I think things have slowed down for me. I can appreciate all the nice things, and I want it to continue. If I don't meet Johnny Fisher, it's over. So it's me, or basically, I really like him. As we're saying, I really like him. We've got the match and haircuts going on. Lovely kid, smart kid. But he can come again. I can't come again. This is everything for me.
So it's literally a bust moment for you in boxing.
Yeah, win, lose or draw, I want to continue because I love this sport. It's the only thing I want to do, but I don't want to continue in them Sheffield Ice Rings. I want to continue in Riyadh. I want to go to the O2 again. I want to headline the O2. I want to box in America. I've got loads of things I want to do, and I'm good enough, and I'm certainly good looking enough, and got the person. I want to open my own restaurant and be a chef when I finish. So
I've got to confess at this point, I've been urging Dave to do this for years, and he's finally admitted it live on air that he wants to open a restaurant and become the next Marco Pierre White.
I've got loads of plans. So, and these plans, obviously, a lot of them depend on beating Johnny Fisher. If I don't beat Johnny Fisher, life goes on. I've realised retiring from boxing was the best thing I did.
The Bosch killer, yeah?
Yeah, you know what? There's just retiring was the best thing ever. I got my mind cleared, and now I can just focus on the boxing.
Brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant to see you. It's great for you to join us on the podcast. I cannot wait for your, fight week and your ring walk in Riyadh on December the 21st. I just think this is going to be special, Mr. David Allen.
Allen, yes.
Allen.
Thank you.
Brilliant, well done.
Can I just ask you as well, obviously, you're going to finish your fight. What do you think about Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury, the second meeting?
I think Fury wins. Yeah, I think Fury... I've sparred all of them, boxed all of them. He's the best heavyweight I've ever shared a ring with. He's the best fighter I've ever been in the gym with. He's special. So is Usyk but he's too small. He's Fury should have won the first time. If he just corrects a few things, he wins the fight. He stops him.
We saved the best for last today. You've been watching the Daily Fight Night podcast.
I hope you're still watching.
They are still watching, of course they are, with David Allen and Spencer Oliver. We'll have much more for you. Watch all our interviews from the media day here at the Westminster Plaza Hotel. We'll see you very soon.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.